Great to see you again, especially in this role, Steve. How are you doing?
You know, I'm humbled and thrilled to have been elected as Honolulu prosecutor. And the mandate I got from the citizens, the voters, was restoring trust to the prosecutor's office. And I have been really busy ever since the election doing just that.
Well, that's always been your persona anyway, you know, living a life of integrity and expecting that of your employees.
Yeah. Well, and this is a big office, almost 300 people. But I took a look at the personnel that were here. Many deputies, really good deputies, really good staff. A couple had retired. I asked several to leave, that they would not be reappointed. We had a lot of moves to make. But when I did that, I reached out to the division chiefs to ask their recommendations on who to appoint to these new positions. They had never been asked that before. We're then setting up hiring committees. We put the supervisors on those hiring panels because they're going to be working with the folks. And I made it a point to meet with all of the people that work in the office, each of the divisions, the lawyers separate from the staff because of COVID. But I told all of them my personal feelings on this, what my expectations were, that I would have zero tolerance for any sort of discrimination, any bullying, any sex harassment, a hostile work environment.
So when you're talking about trust and you're starting on the inside so that the public can feel it and see it on the outside, it's attitude, but it's actions.
It is. It's both. And one of the things we're doing, I've assigned Tom Brady, who I hired as my first deputy. He worked at this office before, but he had been with the U.S. attorneys for 26 years. He is going to do a thorough management audit of every case Kathy Kealoha touched. So that means interviewing people here, people that left the office, HPD, tracking down all the cases for us to take appropriate action. Because people need to know that we are going to look into that mess and make it right.
So what thoughts do you have that you can share with the public in terms of not only trusting you, your leadership, and your staff, but also developing trust in the community?
We had a press conference a little while ago where I laid out my 100-day plan and talked about what we're going to do. Number one was restoring trust in the office. And that means setting up the right policies, setting up written policies if anyone wants to complain about anything. It means training the deputies, setting up a plan for implicit bias training. It means working with the community to do things like bring weed and seed back to Chinatown and Kalihi-Palama. It means meeting with groups. We've already met with the ACLU. We've met with OHA. We're going to meet with groups dealing with immigration. I've been going around talking to the law enforcement leaders. I met with Chief Ballard. I've talked to the Chief Justice. I'll be meeting with the rest of them. I talked to the United States Attorney because we're not in a silo. We're there to work with both members of the law enforcement community, but members of the rest of the community, the residents and businesses in our different neighborhoods.
Well, I can tell by your excitement and by your energy that sleep is a secondary part of your life.
It's always been that way. It's not going to change now.
It's contagious. And, the energy that you bring into the office and to people, I'm sure we will see as an outcome of the employees, the staff.
Right. Well, I didn't take this job not to do things, right? I mean, I'm not looking for another job. I started in this office. It's coming home, and it's making it right and restoring the public's trust here. And that means making the deputies as ethical as possible. That means winning cases, but that's not the primary goal. The primary goal is doing justice. And that's what we're going to get the office doing.
Well, it was really refreshing and a pleasure to see you again. Thank you for joining us. And
thank you for having me. We will have regular press conferences so the public will know what we're doing and how we can be more transparent.
Great, and I look forward to having a longer conversation with you in the future.
I do too. Nice to see you, Lila.